Family and friends, friends and family. First and foremost, I'd like to thank you all for coming today. You've all made journeys, some longer than others. From Bonnie, from Belgium, from Australia, and from Chingford. That actually is the longest journey we've heard so far today. It's been on and on and on. Do you know how long it takes to come from Chingford? 2.5 hours. No matter how short your journey has been, Sarah and I are very grateful. Sarah and I are very grateful, and we'd like to say thank you very much. Thank you to Malcolm for driving the rolls, Ricky for driving the bus, and Barry for driving 100 yards past me every Saturday. But he's quite expensive, it's alright, 10. Not forgetting Pete, who stepped up for the health and safety requirement of being conductor. We are very grateful. Thank you to my ushers, Damon and Paul. Although I had to remind them on several occasions this was a wedding, not a funeral. The past week has been full of comments such as, "Oh God, this is important." I hope you don't faint, lad. Another one was, "Should I wear black?" Two eccentric gentlemen who I've known for many years and have never let me down. Until today. Peter and Ruth, for always making me welcome in their home. Ruth can't think of anything better than spending an afternoon with myself and Pete discussing the benefits of owning a JCB digger. The Gunters are a wonderful family, caring and very generous. And I'm very happy to have been accepted into the family, and will look after Sarah with equal amounts of love you give her.
Bless.
They're beautiful bridesmaids, Jen and Ellie. Sarah introduced me straight away to both, and both treated me with caution. After many nights listening to my ramblings, hello, here we go. After many nights listening to my ramblings, Jen has sorted out my dietary problems, and Ellie has refused any more dating advice. I'll just shout actually if you can't hear me. Sarah adores and cares about you both so much. I know this because she talks about you every day. And can you all stand, please, for a toast to the bridesmaids? To the bridesmaids.
The bridesmaids.
You're going to have to shout on this one, Johnny. It's a bit of a dodgy mic. My father on this date, on the 25th of July 1964, was best man at Dawn and Rona's wedding. So it's a double celebration today. Congratulations, Dawn and Rona, happy 51st anniversary. They say that there's never been a funnier best man speech. Gotta get him in now. Thank you to Sir Andrew Speed, a very good friend of mine, and Cupid himself, for raging into my office 5 years ago, slamming the door shut and proclaiming that I was obviously gay. The reason being, I had not acted on Sarah's first invitation of a date. I'm sure he was standing outside the door with a pitching wedge the second time Sarah asked. And indeed, Sarah did ask me out twice. After being threatened on an hourly basis by Speedy, I accepted only to be an hour late for our first date.
Oh.
ladies' night off the following week. It was a Sunday night. I surely didn't need to book a restaurant on a Sunday night. No. Only to find that the restaurant I didn't book was fully booked. I apologised all the way around the corner to another Waterloo eatery, only to find it was closed on a Sunday. We ended up in a pub that night drinking white wine and eating crisps. I'm not saying that was planned, but I thought it went very well. Wine's on a couple of years and my life improved immensely. After inviting Sarah to live with me, she protested. I'm not moving into your flat until you buy Sky Sports. Sarah is a huge cricket fan. I quickly purchased the sports package and our love for each other was truly sealed. It was then I knew I had to marry her. Now they say history never repeats itself. But on Christmas Day in Melbourne, while watching the Ashes, my engagement plans got off to a slow start. As we laughed from one fully booked restaurant to another, we eventually found a small trendy cafe and ordered the all-day breakfast. We then headed for the quiet beach of St Kilda, and amongst the thousands of drunken Aussie Santas, I found a secluded spot and burnt my knee in the scorching sand. And as you've gathered, Sarah said yes.
Oh. Hey!
But my biggest thank you is to Sarah myself, my beautiful wife.
Oh.
Thank you for being there every day for me. I never dreamed I would meet such a beautiful woman. I'm not actually reading some script, I am. You're caring, patient, polite, and beautiful. Very kind. I love you unconditionally. Thank you for being such a beautiful mother to Holly and just a fantastic wife. I know you will. I love you so much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, brought to you at enormous expense, flown in all the way from Bonnie. Without further delay, will you put your hands together for the great embellisher, Mr. Jonathan Francis?
Bonsoir tout le monde, mesdames et messieurs. Good evening, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the wedding of Stuart Sara. Do you know what the Robertson Foundation stands for? Body snatchers. Body snatchers. Don't know that. Body snatchers. As you can see, there are just a few kids here today, which means that the adults behave like children. Children here behave like adults. Here you go. Oh, you never can hear me. Oh, I'll try. Okay, I'll try. Okay. There it is. Okay. I've known Stuart for a long time. I first met him on the five-side pitches at St Andrews Inter-Primary Schools competition. Stu, although in primary 7, had long white legs like strip lights. Which is perfect for nutmegging. 2 or 3 times in a row. What a laugh. He's engaged in it as well. It really wasn't until we went to the big school, the state comprehensive, that our core friendships were formed. There were many last to this day. From the age of 12 onwards, our whole world changed and evolved from wee boys with bull haircuts to mullets, flicks, and perms. And them all at once. We were rampaging young men full of attitude and misguided confidence. As Big Rod said, me and the boys thought we had it snust. Valentina's all of us. My dad thought we looked ridiculous. There are many stories and myths from this era and beyond, and indeed up to the present day actually, Some are true and some are false. Most are exaggerated. The best ones. Never let the truth get in the way of a good story. But you know, I'm not here to dish up the dirt. But I'm here to let my muses on Stu's life flow organically. What's it? I'm not here to rock the boat, make the seas rise, temples crumble, locusts descend, dogs howl. What's that?
Come this way a bit. Come over this way a little bit. Just come and stand around here.
Stand on a chair and wash away. Hear me, everyone hear me?
Shout it out! Shout it out!
Me and the boys. No, give him a chair. Okay, the temples, of course. I'm not here to rock the boat, to make the seas rise, temples crumble, locusts descend, dogs howl, and beer and new brides to walk out. I came to the conclusion there's not enough oxygen in London to revive Stu's mum if she knew everything.
Hey!
Oh, he's a bad boy. He's a good boy. Depends on your hand. He's a good boy to you. Not to anyone else. Stu was a diligent lad at school. He worked hard. And was rewarded with a constant stream of C plus B minuses. He had his good and bad subjects. English wasn't great. Particularly the day he wrote a 1,000-word essay, that's right, a 1,000-word essay on the merits of Rudyard Kipling, and he wrote a 1,000-word essay on how good his bakewell tarts were. History, he just sat in the back of the class and chewed his thumb. Maths, he used to meet Lorraine on the moped. I couldn't catch the maths on the moped lessons. The whole school for the 500 people. So yes, school, yes, it was quite well. On the sporting front, Stu gave up his rapidly diminishing, non-existent football career. Rugby. A fearless pedestrian winger. When he caught the ball, the spectators would walk alongside him, encouraging him to the line. The opposition players would jog ahead and wait for him. One leg seemed to take him forward, and the other leg seemed to take him back. And all those giant, big, floppy, dungeon-lighted shorts. The last 20 years or so. Leaving school with a clutch of C plus B minuses under his arm, Stu headed for Aberdeen to study yodeling, shouting at buses, and forward somersaults. Actually, he can't remember what he studied, so we just made it up. Then it was off to Wolverhampton. Wolverhampton. Burley. He goes to Wolverhampton, and of course we didn't know anyone in Wolverhampton. And so he went down to Wolverhampton, and he met Paul and Damon. First time I met Damon was in Stu's mum's kitchen, and I walked in, and he was a cross between the Predator and the lead singer of Europe. Padded shoulders and huge made what's his name again? D. Snyder. And anyway, so he's in. I walk in, he's this guy, a huge guy, big hair, big short pants, and I'm going, it's Andrew's, which is a wee tired. I walk in and this thing turns round. All right. Johnny? So, a little later, Paul, who is well known for his like of Waitrose sausages, so the gravy made by the Chinese because it's got garlic. History and art design. That's the Thursday, I can't remember. The history and art design. So he stayed there for 9 years, made many friends. He formed a band with David who go Piazza Rosa. And in French that means something like beans on toast. They were actually very good, I believe, and went on to support top indie bands like Ned's Nuclear Wheelie Bin. Not to mention, Stu was in many bands in school as well. As a lead singer, mainly because he's had a canny resemblance to certain John Taylor from Duran Duran.
Medallion included.
I don't hate it, one
No,
here
he had no medallion. He did put a medallion. Yes.
Well, you would, wouldn't you? If you looked like John Taylor. So, anyway. So, well, of course, the red bandana was literally tattooed to his neck for many years. Eventually, the bright lights of London beckoned, and our hero started off getting a job at Sadler's Wells, which when he told me, I thought sounded like a gay rodeo bar. Stand by. He was there for a number of years before moving on to the National, where he has been ever since. A few years ago, he met Sarah. Now, Stu, like you were saying earlier, Stu was kind of in a funny place. He just lost his father and was reluctant to get involved with someone. Sarah was keen. Stu was stubborn. After a timely intervention from his colleague Speedy, who was Sarah's boss, who basically kicked his arse in an attempt to convince Stu that Sarah was the one. It paid off and romance blossomed. So every day around 4, Stu would pick Sarah up in front of the school gates. When I met Sarah for the first time, I spoke to her. I knew he was a jammy bastard. And I jumped and picked up scoring. A more warm-hearted, generous girl you couldn't possibly be. I've known literally. I've known all Stuart's buds. Since he was 13. I knew he had struck gold. The best will be his last. But here we are today, surrounded by the people who matter, to Stu and Sarah. There are absent friends on Stu's side, particularly the Aussie crew who cannot be here today. Stu's late father would also have loved today. An old school educated, jangling the change in his pockets, laughing at his own jokes. He was looking down with a G&T and a silk cup going, that's my boy. Two and a half years ago, roughly in my flat in St Andrews, Stu asked me to be his best man. Drink was being taken. The next day, in the Criterion bar, the window seat, we sat there, quite hungover, watching the world go by. It's nice enough, we'll check it out. Right. And he goes, Johnny, oh yeah, do you remember actually being my best man last night? Yes. Get a vague recollection. That's how guys do it. It was a bit hazy, but that's how it was. Anyway, I've known Stu since his early days, growing up in the family former house. Is that for me? Well, in his early days, growing up in the family's former house in Carry Gardens, what was that say? Oh, I should have typed it, didn't I? I former family home in Buchanan Gardens. Well,
Last page.
so I met him at Buchanan Gardens and up there, the west side of St Andrews. Our social life for this period onwards, for many, many years, over 2 decades, was my parents' pub, Marvell's. We're a big social gathering of many, many friends, got pished, fought, laughed, cried. We chucked many a girl, and many a girl chucked us. Looking back, we were vulnerable and fallible like everyone else, but we didn't care. They were great times. Stu, Mo, Isles are very dear to me, and Mo and Stu's late dad, Dave, always welcomed me warmly into their home. Many, many times. From a wee boy to accepting large measures from Dave's drinks cabinet. And Nicky and his fags. Now Sarah and Holly, now Robertson's, I tend to sponge off them as well. Let's finish it. Stu, it's a great privilege that you asked me to be your best man, as you have many great friends. But I am the only one who still listens to your stories. Karen and Paul. Ladies and gentlemen, sports fans, today is a great day. It's a great day for two tremendous people. Seize today and put the least possible trust in tomorrow. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been an exceptionally great privilege to be best man in front of so many great people. Today and tomorrow morning we shall dance to dawn. My name's Johnny, I'm the best man. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, can we all make our way through to the other rooms now so we can clear the tables and get ready for some dancing?